Welcome, welcome, welcome to Planning Phase Syndicate. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. We have an amazing game set up for you with the ALT, not Ultra, not Ultimatum, just Alt Star League. We have tonight Tim from the Sith Takers versus Tobby Z. Joining me on mic tonight is my co-host for tonight or this afternoon, depending on where you live, Corey. Scrap Jackal needs to play more on Hexiled. How are you tonight, sir?
Doing good, thank you.
Yeah. So did you have the day off, or did you have to take this afternoon off to join me?
It was a mix. We'll just say that.
It was a mix. All right. But at least on this Thanksgiving after day, we don't have as much going on as what normally we do, and Corey and I might get some in-person games in here around 6 o'clock tonight, unless somebody else wants a game picked up. So it looks like Tim is going to be running a Republic list versus Toby's Empire list, and I don't know, you probably don't have the list, do you, Corey?
I do not.
All right, so I'll run the list down real quick. We are playing Chance Engagement, and Tim is going to be running an oddball in an arc with dedicated VTG, 7th Fleet Gunner, R4P, and Sync Council. Lumi in the Delta 7, the calibrated one, not the fancy one, with Patience, R4P17, and CLT. OB1 in the ADA, we actually get to see an ADA, with Shattering Shot, Patience, Trick Shot, HLC, and R47P. Contrail with Ion Limiter Override, Precision Astromech, Ion Bombs, and the Besh title. And then Click rounding out the list with dedicated R3 Astro, Besh, and Seismic charges. On Toby's side for the Empire, we have Morniki with Ruthless, Minister Tua, 7th Sister, VTG, Seismic charges, and Dauntless. Vizier with Emperor Palpatine, because that's what everybody loves to run. Then we have Boy Vader with Marksmanship, Hate, and Afterburners, and Iden with Elusive and Ion Cannon. So kind of a weird, different little mix squad for Empire here. Corey, what's your take on the list?
Well, I've seen some of Tim's stuff in action, and it's very very interesting how much terrible things you can do to your dice. With Lumi, Contrail, Click, it's just bad. You think you got a good shot, and then you end up with nothing. So, pretty interesting. I also think Republic's in an interesting spot with R4P. He's got that on 2 ships. And it's kind of cool that they have one of the few 2-point droids left in the game. And kind of does the same thing as R4, but 1 point cheaper, and it's charge-based, so that's kind of cool. On Toby's side, I think it's a sweet list. All good pieces, and going to be really, really strong. So I'm curious how this is going to go.
Yeah, I really actually like that Empire list, because it's kind of like we're getting a mix, and we get to have Boy Vader, right? Which is weird. It's funny because the overlay, I wish we could change the overlay so it would say Boy Vader. Maybe I can. Can I do that? I can do that, can I? I'm going to change it. Boy. Because I think the Click or the Contrail is also the SOC Contrail, if I remember right. Because that's the new one that has all the Ion shenanigans with it, correct?
Yes, you are correct. Yeah, Contrail is Siege of Coruscant. Yeah.
So that must be the one rule that they have, is that they have to use something new or something old. Looks like we have a good setup here, starting to begin. They got most of their obstacles selected. We see that Toby was selected as first player. At first, I was a little scared because they were putting all those obstacles in that corner there, Corey. But now he's got all the obstacles spread out a little bit more.
Yeah, it's interesting seeing I saw it in the chat too, talking about getting rid of the lat and having oddball as kind of a lat replacement, which is kind of cool. I think it's a little bit
different.
safer. Yeah, it's a little safer though with thinking about Tyranny coming out, in that the lat by itself can't do anything if it gets that condition put on it. Like, it's pretty much a pointless ship. Whereas at least with oddball, you have a 3-die gun, and in this case VTG. So even if you can't use 7th Fleet Gunner, the ship itself still has a pretty effective firepower.
Yeah, and I do really like that we're gonna move away from some of the lats. I think. I better give him a deck. Yeah, I like that we're moving away a little bit from the lats, because I really don't like that it defines all of Republic, right? Like, I think the lat is a great ship, and I know it's your favorite ship.
Yes.
Personally. So I am a little sad for you, but at the same token, it'd be nice that you have other options. And I like the oddball option. If you think about it, it's not quite the same because you're not getting all the re-rolls, but you change a little bit of your dynamic up inside of your list. So, all right, it looks like we have begun the game officially. They have started the timer, and Toby is first player. So it looks like we're going to get a pre-position boost with Obi-Wan here. It'll be interesting to see how fast Obi-Wan comes in there, right? Because Obi-Wan's a very fragile ship.
Yeah.
Especially in that Ada. I know Sean likes to run him in the CLT version, but
yeah, that's my preference too. I like the extra shield, and I feel like I don't have to think as much with the CLT version as this one.
Yeah, and it looks like he set Visor up on the bottom of the screen as bait. That would be my assumption, is that Visor was set up as bait, and we have Tim putting his whole list. And here we're going to get Visor running along the bottom side of the board. Because it's funny, in Empire, you don't always think of a support ship without having that Lambda. We don't have the Lambda anymore. And it's kind of sad to me that we don't have a Lambda. But if you think about it, Vizier is a support ship until endgame. If you could keep Vizier around, that's like so awesome to be able to have that for for the end game. Because it hits hard and it has pulp for every turn. Just so good.
Plus, it's a cool looking ship, so.
That is true. Oh, and we get to see more of them in Andor. I won't go any farther than that for those who have not seen Andor. Though I still have not watched the last episode. I had been making a habit of doing it every Wednesday on my lunch hour. But then I just haven't had time with Thanksgiving. We had tons of Thanksgiving stuff, and we played Wednesday afternoon. We played board games all afternoon. So.
Nice. Yeah, we binged Andor last night, so went through 5 episodes in one night.
Oh wow,
so.
Wow, that's crazy. Are you watching it with your kids or your wife?
My wife.
Ah,
so.
We were lucky. My wife has no interest. she told me no, thank you.
We did during COVID. We did Friday night Star Wars. And so we went through all of Clone Wars, the cartoon, and then all of Rebels. And by the end, my wife was like, I love this. This is like fantastic. And she was kind of like into the characters and stuff. And so it was pretty cool to do that as a family. So.
And Andor, is that a Lego movie? I don't know if it's a Lego movie or not, to be honest with you. It might be. Yeah, that's nice that you guys got to do that. We did kind of the same thing a little bit, but not too much. Tim posted for me. Even better. We did a little bit of stuff with the Clone Wars because my son had never seen them all. even though he grew up when they came out. So it never made sense why he didn't see them all, but he did. So we did the same thing with Clone Wars, but he had already watched Rebels without me. So all right, so we will not get any engagements. I'm pretty sure Obi is well out of engagement range. Or do you think that we're going to see Obi boost forward next round?
Yeah, I could definitely. I think that's his going to be his best place is in the flank, or in coming from behind there. So, I'm curious how he's going to get the arc. If he's going to do slow turns and kind of come through the center, or if the arc is like how he's going to get that into the fight, because it feels like it's really far to the bottom and out of it.
It does. He's almost going to have to do hard turns, I think, to get into there. And even then, that's not going to be great because it looks like the arc is going to be at least 2 turns out. But it depends if Toby goes in slow too. And maybe these people are more patient than I am. I just like to throw my droids in the center. That's why I run droids. Then I don't have to worry about thinking.
Well, I know I was really interested in this game just because I know Tim is a really awesome Republic player. And he's been playing it for a long, long time. Like, it's been modified slightly, but it's been slow changes. And so I definitely look at him as one of the top Republic players I know that I watch. So, yeah, I'm sure he's got a plan. I don't see it.
I think it's interesting that they take Lumi as well for that 4 points there.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it kind of makes sense because Ahsoka kind of got nerfed, in my opinion. But that's over Mace. And so is it just because we're not running a lat?
Yeah, he does some interesting stuff, though, because I think Contrail and Lumi trigger at the same time. And so he can turn a die down from a hit to an eyeball. And then I think Contrail... What's Contrail's ability? I'm trying to remember. Isn't it something about change it to a blank?
Yeah, it changes it to a blank if you have the same maneuver.
So he turns it down, a hit down to an eyeball, and then Contrail just makes it a blank. So you go from having a full hit to nothing.
Makes sense. Looks like we get a turn-in for Vizier. Oh, and we did not see a boost from Obi, did we? No, we did not.
Huh.
Now I'm a little confused what he's going to do with Click.
Yeah, that was a tight move with Morna, too. I wonder if that's going to... I was expecting Morna to go around the top.
Yeah, I kind of was, too.
That'd pull me off guard.
Because if you think about it, Morna Key can just go right around those obstacles there and engage in the center. Mm-hmm. And it just rotate their turret.
Is there enough room for a 1 forward and then a 2 left with Morna? Or 2 right?
2 hard?
Yeah, if you did a 1 straight, could you... Or does he need to bank with like a 1 bank and then... It's going to be tough to get around that asteroid if he turns into the center eventually.
I think you can make it. I think a 1 forward and then a 2 hard gets you there. I do think so, yeah. My guess is, though, we will not see that. My guess is we're going to see that Decimator just go straight and go through the opening that Click's coming into.
Chad, do you think the Decimator is going to go straight or turn into the center?
I think it goes straight because I think what we're going to do is see Vizier do the boost, go in and kind of skirt around and force them to, again, what Toby seems to want is, what do I do with Vizier to get you to come after Vizier and leave my other ships alone? That's what it feels like to me. Because in fairness, Vizier is not the most important ship on that board. If you can detract from them shooting at Morna right away, that's 7 points of fortressing. And I know we talk about not wanting to fortress, but like, let's be honest. Wow. I'm assuming we're going to get a boot or a barrel roll to the far left. I can't imagine Obi wants to joust Morniki.
That is so aggressive. It's so cool. This is Chance.
Yes, this is chance engagement. Yep. And to be honest with you, I don't know if Morniki is... I know Morniki's not... I don't know if Vizier is close enough for a range 2. It's going to be tight. So Tim doing a very good job controlling the center of the board, making sure that he gets the 2 points no matter what, and at least getting the 1 point and preventing his opponent from getting the others. And again, we're seeing Vader come around very slowly. Vader does have afterburners, so we can see a 3 bank or a 3 hard in afterburners boost to go and catch Obi-Wan.
Woo.
Is that obstructed too?
Yeah. And that's shattering shot. Oh, shattering and trick. Nice. So now I can see why I put him there.
Yeah, I can hear him in the voice. Yeah. Trick shot and shatter shot. Oh, look at that. Spend. All right, so it looks like they're not using the shattering shot. And so we get 1 damage on it.
2.
Isn't he reinforced in the front?
No, backs, because I don't think he was expecting to take shots this round. So he did the back so that way he can move it to the front.
Gotcha. All right, so we're getting a return shot from Morna.
Pretty good.
Not able to use Ruthless. Could use Pelp. No, can't use Pelp because it's a blank.
Yep.
All right. Is going to take just the 2.
Could you imagine if there was a Vader card, like a second version of Vader that let you do his defender ability for any ship?
Stop it, Corey. No, we do not need another Vader crew. That would be like a 20-point Vader crew.
I don't want it. I just said it would be...
It'd be nasty. All right, so looks like he's going to have to spend a force, but no damage.
Yes,
we'll
Vader
have one
Gunner.
more shot, though.
Vader Gunner.
No, stop it. Stop it. No. I do not want a Vader Gunner. Killing me. Do we see Morniki just sit there? I wonder if she just sits there. Nice shot from Vizier. Lumi. Oh, look at that. Look at Lumi's ability. Love it. And Vizier only gets 1, only able to spend Pelp. And doesn't matter. Obi takes no damage. So it looks like we're now into the end phase. And he did get the 2 points. Look at that, Corey.
Ooh,
look at that. I can't mess our game up, but I would love to know how close Vizier is.
Yeah, that I would have thought that Vizier was in.
Yeah. We also saw a dedicated trigger that I missed earlier.
Oh, nice. On Monday, I had it where Matt, the game I was playing against Matt, I couldn't get into range 2 of a chance engagement and lost 2 points right off the bat. And man, that hurts.
It is. That is how about this? That is one of the best pieces of this, because like everybody complained when we went to scenarios like, oh, I just want to kill things. Well, they gave you a scenario to kill things and then told you you have to come to the center. Like that's all it is, you know. So I don't know. I really like chance engagement aspect of it. I think what we're gonna see here is Obi barrel rolling to the left all the way back and then doing a bank to keep that trick shot, shattering shot combo going. And I guess if you think about it, trick shot on Obi-Wan seems pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Because you can barrel roll before you move. Seems pretty good. Kind of like a sensitive controls blackout, right?
Yep.
Except for it's Obi and Obi never dies.
Yeah,
Vader's
I've
coming
been
for him.
looking at trick shot a lot more, like I said, in resistance with my A-wings. Starting to look, added those in there, and I've gotten it off quite a few times now, and it definitely makes it interesting because, like on an A-wing, you've got 4 defense dice, and you get your 3 attack. So,
yeah. See, I had ran it on Grievous as well. It doesn't get off as often as the outmaneuver, but it's kind of like if we ever lost outmaneuver on Grievous, I think we would go to a trick shot version. That's what we would see, because it gives you the extra dice. If you're not in their arc, you can still do your re-rolls. Yes, they get an extra green dice, but being able to roll 4 dice most of the time seems pretty good, at least for Grievous.
yeah, more red is always good.
Especially because Grievous can technically token up. I kind of wish Grievous had 2 talent slots, because I would not run outmaneuver. I would actually run the trick shot and then debris gamut on him. Because then it gives you the option to take that evade if you want, even though it's red. It does give you that option. Because that is the one thing that Bell Balab would really like to have, is an evade.
I actually ran Grievous with shield upgrade once, so it's like even more ridiculous.
I've done that a couple times too. People hate that. So. I also put a shield upgrade on Seer instead, just for the pure fact that then it's like, oh, it goes from 5 points, or 5 health to the 6 health or whatever, and then it's just like one more shield for somebody to get through. People hate it.
Plus impervious plating. Wants Procket Grievous.
Procket Grievous? I've done it before, but it's silly. It is just it only works if you can get them from behind. That's the only time I ever had that thing work. Because then you get your re-rolls for it. But I will tell you, rolling the 5 dice with the re-rolls is pretty fun. Yeah, but it's very often it doesn't happen.
Grievous is such a cool ship. They did such a nice job of his abilities, and with I-4, I think it's a great spot to not be too overpowered. So,
does anybody know, is Scott going to allow for list building changes at all in this leak? I do not know personally.
I think in the Alt Star, or in the side event. So what he did was kind of unique in that there's a main event, and that one your lists are locked. But when you can't make cut anymore, you drop into the side event, and that's where you can get these most wanted tokens. So that way there's a reason to keep playing.
Gotcha.
And so for that one, you can change up stuff.
Well, that'll be fun, because they'll be able to change and put some of those new ships in that haven't come out, or that just came out.
Epionic, did he say that he wants one of the new cards in all the Alt Stars or not? I thought he said something. Okay. It was not.
All right, so it looks like we're getting our ready for turn 3. I'll have to. Oh, you know what? The overlay will remember too. That's good. I'll say I'm not going to remember the half points because we play so many scenarios without half points. And I'm assuming they're going to spend more than Key's charge, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yes. Okay, I see it there. They did flip it. Cool.
So what do you think, Chris? Which list do you think is going to take it, if you were to guess?
I don't know. That's a hard one. To me, I would put my money on the Republic list.
Okay.
That's just me. And I only say that because I feel Republic is in a very good place, and I feel that this Empire list has some dice variance, is what I would call it, because they don't have as consistency as the other one outside of Vader. So Vader is, but outside of that, they don't have the same. Though I guess we'll see how fast that Vader comes in, because if that Vader can ace that Obi-Wan off the board, then that would change everything.
I mean, Morna, if she takes a target lock with the Force and has the Reinforce and Ruthless, feels like Morna can be pretty consistent. And if Vizier can use help for its own fire and takes a target lock, then those three could be really, in a sense, soft double modded on all three of them.
Yeah. Looks like Toby is first player again, and we are going to get a barrel roll. So you're right. If they only have the two banks, we will definitely not see Obi go back into that rock. Yeah, I think... I don't know if that's a mistake or not. He is coordinating. So he did a maneuver.
Double reinforce.
Coordinating the reinforce.
Oh, man, look at that move.
And we get the one hard. We get a one hard in there. Love it.
That was impressive.
Yep. And there we go. Now we get Morna Key just kind of hopscotching. I assume we're going to get a rotate. Nope. We're going to get a focus. All right. No, they're debating it. Some of me thinks you rotate.
Well,
or lock.
Or Contrail is going to have to go there into that front arc. Click doesn't have to, but probably will.
You're right. Don't rotate. So then oh, yep, they are going to rotate. Okay.
Oh.
And I think it's to go all in on Obi. I think that's the idea here.
Mm-hmm.
And there we have Iden.
And that was some nice flying by Toby.
Yep. So there's Click. Still an arc for Morna. Definitely an arc for Iden there.
I think Vizier could technically shoot Click if needed. I'm guessing Obi will be there, but...
Yep. I wonder if we get a barrel roll from Lumi here.
To get away, or you thinking...
Yeah. Well, you won't be able to, because that will put you in the arc spot. Man, never mind. Because Lumi's not really going to have a great shot.
It's interesting he's not using the new contrail, because I feel like that new contrail is pretty crazy.
Oh, he is. That is the new contrail.
Oh, yep. It is. Okay, that's right. Because it's got the lock focus, which is bonkers with 7 fleet.
Yeah, I know. This is ridiculously silly. All right, Lumi taking a focus. We get Obi going first. Oh my gosh. Holy crap. Look how close that is. That's insanely close right there.
Both these players are doing some awesome maneuvers.
That's got to be millimeters from that rock. So I do like it. I still am very concerned for Obi-Wan here. Because I think you got a Vizier.
What? Oh.
What? All right. I didn't expect that.
Oh, so Contrail doesn't get to use the ability. I feel like something... I think something went wrong there.
I think that Morna coming in there. I think that click wasn't far enough to be able to barrel roll.
Hmm.
All right.
Yeah, Epionic, I agree. I wouldn't have taken my 3 health Ada and done that, but very impressive.
Contrail did lose. Who did Contrail lose the shield to?
He self-bumped.
Oh, yep. I missed that. All right, so we're getting a target lock, it looks like. Oddball giving that out. I will say 7 Fleet Gunner is active for whatever ship, but here comes Vader. Let's see the afterburners and the target lock is my guess. I think if you want Vader in this fight, you got to afterburners in. I know it'll screw up Vizier for next turn, but
Vader always scares me.
I mean, I guess you could attempt a target lock, right? No, okay. There you go. Oh, has he got Obi and Arc? Oh, that's so close. I can't tell.
He's got Obi.
All right. Then I think you take it on Obi and call it. I mean, Obi's got 1 force. Obi's going to have to patience here, I think. I don't think Obi gets a choice. Unless you just don't care about losing Obi.
Oof. Really?
Nope. Contrail.
Well,
all right.
I would be, if I was Tim, I would be super happy that just happened.
All right. So Vader gets to shoot first, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So he is going to patience. That again makes a lot of sense. Let's get that extra force back. All right. So Vader going into Contrail here. Very interesting choice. Very confident they must be in being able to get Obi off the table.
Oh.
That is not a fun...
Oh, there you go. There's Contrail.
Do you spend a force and then turn it to a crit or just re-roll them all?
I think I would just re-roll them all.
Okay, so yep. So then that goes to a crit. Yeah, there you go. And then you're going to spend the target lock anyway, because I don't think this version has FDC.
Oh, there you go.
All right, so hit crit coming in. Contrail doesn't have a mod. Does anybody else have dedicated? Yeah, Click does. Are we going to get a dedicated trigger?
Is dedicated 0? Is dedicated range 0 or 0 to 1?
Ugh. And that's a crit going in. Disabled power regulator.
Oh, 0 to 2. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm sorry. I think you asked a question and I did not.
No, you're fine. I just want. Sometimes I was curious if dedicated worked at range 0, and it does. So.
Yeah. No, dedicated is actually really good since they went to the new, the new version of not having just generics. All right, so we are going all in. 7 Fleet Gunner does not work on yourself. I think you spend the target lock here. Yeah, maybe. Nope. Just take it 2 hits. That's right. You don't spend the target lock because there's 0 point.
Do the double reinforce?
Yeah.
Ugh. Why is that a thing? Reminds me of Zach's double reinforced boba. So terrible.
Stop. Yeah, dude. I hate that. Not just think Hondo is going to be giving out reinforced to everybody. All right. So we see the 7th Fleet does not get Obi. Oh, no. Oh, so it's only click. I don't know if you use it. Do you use the 7th Fleet on an unmodded? I don't know if you do.
I think he passed the lock off, didn't he?
Yeah.
That was sync console?
Yes.
Because 7th Fleet, he just needs the target in arc to be able to use it.
I thought it was 0 to 2, wasn't it?
Mm-mm. It's just if the ship of 7th Fleet has the target in its arc, then you can add the extra die.
All right. So we do have click or contrail. Does have a range 1. I think that's where you go because you ain't got mods.
Right.
Yep. Take your ion token. If they do not kill contrail, he's going to be giving out ions to everybody. Let's go. All right. Hit crit. That's pretty good for... That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Do you spend a force with Morna or just take... Oh, that's right. In Contrail. Did he do the same thing? He did. All right. You take that last shield on Morna. All right. Now we get Obi.
The trick and shatter.
Wonder if they're debating on going into Iden. I don't know. I think you have to go into Morna Key. I don't think there's a choice in this one at this point. Now that everybody's stuck here.
And you can still get up to 4 dice.
Yeah.
If he wants to.
Yep. Gonna use the 7th Fleet.
That could have been a 5 die shot.
I know. That would have been so bad.
Because shattering comes afterwards, so I think you can add that, right?
Yeah.
To get around the 7 Fleet Gunner limit?
Yes. Yes, you can. It's 30. So we have just 2. And not opting to not spend any force and just take 1 damage. This Morna is not gonna die. All right, so now we're gonna get an Iden shot. Iden gonna say, I really just want to take Contrail off the board. Hopefully, rolling that ion cannon. Seems pretty good.
Yeah, that seems likely.
Can we get 3 natty evades? We get 2. We get 2. Oh my god! Can you? Who else? Does anybody else have dedicated other than click. No, they don't.
Can Lumi do...
Oddball is oddball? Is it?
No.
Oh no! Oh, sad days for Contrail. All right, that puts Toby up 3-2. Now we're gonna get a more than a key shot. You just go into click here because it's unobstructed.
I think I'd go Obi.
Well, if he goes Obi, click spending the charge.
Yeah, but you've got Vizier that can follow up too, right?
True. That is true.
I wonder if Obi would have survived if all 4 ships would have gone out Obi.
I don't think so. I think, or at least it would have been on 1 health. And with everybody being so close. See, here's the other thing. Everybody being so close. Yeah, going into click means click can't go through that rock, right? Unless you roll like that. Will we get a ruthless? I think you're ruthless one of these.
Don't you have to be range 1 of the target?
Oh, yeah, so no ruthless. You're right. All right, so we're just gonna get the force spend.
Ooh.
And we get a Plinko. All right. Can't even spend your focus. Just 2 shields.
I found that sitting on a focus token and rolling all blanks, that is such an awful feeling.
Yeah, it just makes you angry.
Yeah.
All right. 2 dice from
Woo.
Lumi. All right, there we go.
That's
so we'll get 1 crit. And it's a fuel leak. Ooh,
oh.
That's not good. All right, and now we're going to get click. Oh, too bad you didn't have a target lock. All right, 1 more damage. Morta down to 9. Bye-bye, Contrail. So sad. Vizier is going to do a range 3 through an obstacle into oddball, it looks like.
Wow. Interesting.
Thank you. Okay. Just hit crit, looks like.
Ooh.
Oddball. Look at Oddball. Look at that arc living. Look at that arc.
They do barrel rolls in the movies.
Oh my gosh. I will say this is a cluster right here.
Oh my gosh, yeah,
I don't know where you go with any ship other than Vizier. Vizier is the only ship I know what to do with.
Well, and Road is going to be crazy here because you've got all these I4s.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've got Click, Lumi, Morna, and Iden are all I4.
Click's a 3.
Is it?
Yep. So I think with Click, you can't go through that rock. So Click is doing a 1 hard or I don't even think a 2 hard doesn't hit that rock.
No, Click is I4.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
I thought Click was an I3. Oh,
no.
is it Wolf? Is Wolf I3?
No, Jag.
Jag I3. All right. You can tell how often I play Republic. All right. Yeah, cool.
I mean, what does Obi do? Does he do a 5K? Would you 5K out Obi through all that so you stay out of this?
That or I would zoom Obi out. Yes, one of the two. Because I don't know. I think Morna is not going anywhere. That would be my guess. And and like I don't know, because Lumi's gonna this is just bump city right here.
Mm-hmm. And you got the self bumping thing that is with all those fragile little ships. That seems a little bit scary. Does a 2 sloop from Lumi fit to the right?
Yes,
You think so?
I think so.
That'd be pretty interesting.
That would at least get Lumi out of the way.
Yeah, that's what I was
And
thinking.
Lumi still has force, so is it good at Bionic? I don't know. I think nothing's good at this point, but I think not bumping your own ships is definitely good.
And it keeps her arc active. She's got patience, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got patience. So at least you can go defensive with that.
Wait. And Lumi has R4P17.
Oh, so you can get an action still. So that's really good.
Yeah. I think you have to sloop with Lumi there.
I agree.
I should hand out points. Before I forget. All right. So we have Toby taking first player again.
Ooh.
Dropping a seismic, like it, love it. I love that actually.
So is Morna getting out of there then? Or is Morna not caring?
Like, I think Morna doesn't care. I don't think any of Tim's ships. Toby doesn't care.
I've got more health than 2 of your ships combined left.
Yeah. He's going to coordinate an action to Vader.
Okay.
Give Vader a focus. All right. I like it. Allows Vader to take a target lock.
Decimators don't have a stop, do they? Whoa. I did not see that coming. Holy crap.
He does clear the cloud, but he just took, 3 ion tokens? Now that ship's... I guess that ship doesn't care. That ship doesn't care, but that is hilarious.
Breaks the locks.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I mean, yeah, 1 bank is fine.
And think about it this way, too. Think about this. If Lumi slooped...
Yeah, that's going to be a... Oh, my gosh.
That's going to be a very pissed off Lumi.
This is some big brain play here.
Holy crap. He's just going for blocks. He's going to say, I'm going to make the seismic charge do everything it can.
Think if Click lands on the rock, takes both damage, then takes the seismic. You could kill Click with that, right? Yeah.
Hey, what's up? You break all locks when you become... Oh, no. Not foreign lock. You break your... Yep. He still keeps... Lumi still keeps... Yes. I don't think that lock goes away at Bionic.
I think it does. I'm pretty sure that goes away.
So the chat's telling me I should go double check. So give me a sec. If you guys want to keep moving,
I'll look it up, Chris. You keep going.
All right. All right. So we do get the bump with Click and not going over that obstacle. So I think that clears up the turnaround maneuver for Obi right here. Did you find it there?
I'm looking. A ship breaks all locks and all locks on it. So yes, they're gone.
All right. So we just saw Seventh Sister activate. So the answer is yes. It does break every lock. That must be newer.
Breaks all its locks and all locks on it.
Yeah.
And then it gets a strain, which I don't know if the decimator cares, but it does have a strain too.
I'll skip it to him.
With trick shot and stuff, that could be a factor. I went for the sloop, right?
Yep. And the sloop got blocked.
I would have never thought that decimator would be there, though. So
no, I wouldn't have either. That was obviously a move I didn't know either. But we don't get the turnaround with Obi. We get Obi doing a 5 straight.
Has the arc moved?
No, arc has not moved.
So that's going to be a self bump. I think both 1 straight and 1 bank will hit Lumi. If it's a 1 bank, that's going to be brutal because Morna gets a range 0 or range 1, and Oddball can't shoot Morna. Oh my gosh!
And Oddball takes the damage too, of course.
Holy cow! What do they say? Sometimes high-level X-Wing looks like low-level X-Wing?
Sometimes damage does all the damage. All right, Vader taking a target lock. Question is, does Vader just get rid of click? And I'm a little surprised that we got the we didn't get
go ahead.
A barrel roll.
Yeah, I was gonna just say, could Vader barrel roll out of Oddball's arc? But he doesn't get the double actions with this one, right? So if he does that, then
he has no target lock.
Yeah.
Okay, so he is just going. I think I would go back into Oddball personally. Oh, no, he's going to Lumi. All right, we're going into Lumi. Everybody into Lumi. All right, so Vader, Iden, and Click all take damage. I think that just kind of kills Click there, right?
Well, he's only taking Vader's shot, isn't he? Because Morna's range 0, I doubt, and maybe he'll take the range 0 shot, but...
You know what? Now that you blew the rock up, though, you can't go through the rock. I don't know. I didn't think about that. All right, so here we go. Vader into Lumi. We're going to get that turned into a crit. Bend the target lock. All right. Oh, he's got marksmanship. Does that ship have marksmanship too?
Probably use Malice or whatever. Doesn't it have the...
Yeah.
Oh, it does have marksman. Yeah, marksman.
All right, we're getting the re-roll.
Gross.
Into a plank. Gross. Really gross there. That's not good. So Lumi will spend 1 force, take a... Is that a direct? Yep. Direct hit. There's half points on Lumi. So now if you're... Now, do you go into Lumi if you're Morniki? Or do you let Lumi try to live for another round?
I think I would risk going into Lumi. Take the range 0, just because you don't have mods on Morna. Oh, there's a focus, though. That's tough.
All right, so we got Oddball. Who's Oddball going to shoot at? Not having Morniki is bad. You could go to try to burn the Iden charge. You could go into Vader. Vader seems like a bad choice. Gonna go into Vizier there. All right.
Yeah, it looks like Oddball's out of Vizier's shot, too.
Oof, 1 crit. Vizier spent help. No damage into Vizier. All right, so we're going to get Toby going first. We'll get the Iden range 0 shot. Can Iden take click off the board?
No.
Not with that roll, you can't. All right. Now I'll see who Morna goes into. I don't know if you can ace that.
Can Lumi use her ability at range 0?
Yes.
Never. Yes? Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I don't think you go into Lumi. I guess you're going to have to go into Oddball there. I mean, it is still a range, 1 shot into Oddball who's strained. It's no green dice for Oddball. But you only roll 1.
Oof.
All right.
That was awful.
Okay. Good. That's good news for Oddball there. All right. We'll get Lumi taking the range 0. One hit. All right. So we got click. I assume you go into Vizier there. Let's see if we get any damage into Vizier. We'll get 2. And Vizier has no force and takes 2. All right. So going into the next round. Looks like we have an 8-7. So still a very close game. Tim keeping it very close here. Being a little cagey with Obi-Wan. Again, we still kind of have a pile up. You could probably get somewhat of a block on Vader. I don't know. Do you think Vader gets out of there at all?
I think I'd want to try and occupy Click's spot with Vader.
Because I assume we're going to get a turnaround maneuver with Click, correct? Like that would be the logical thing you would do.
They've got is a one hard red?
Yeah, I think so. We'll find out.
Because you could see a one hard left.
One hard is not red.
Yeah.
It's the one banks.
So I could see a one hard left out of Click. Just to keep from stressing.
That allows you to take an action, maybe get a block on Iden. I assume Iden wants, and again, here goes this road roll, right? Like when we talk about road roll, this is pretty important here because road roll essentially is going to make everything crazy. Because if you do one hard with Click, you almost have to barrel roll. I don't know. Because you're gonna only be able to go one forward then with Oddball, which I guess Oddball probably doesn't care. The bigger question is, what is Lumi gonna do? Because that Decimator, I assume you just bump back into that Decimator.
Well, they're both fours, so it could be the Decimator is there or the Decimator is not there.
So you just dial in a 5 straight with Lumi and hope you get to go first. Because Lumi's stressed.
Yeah, if you're trying to get out of there, maybe bank left around the backside of that gas cloud. To keep her alive.
Until they drop the seismic. Which is going to happen.
She's got a boost and barrel roll, so
yeah, I think that's what you have to do then, and you just hope that, because I think if you lose the roll off, which the odds seem pretty low that you don't at some point win it, like you got to win it at least once a game. I swear to God. Though I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't know. I don't know. Like I think Lumi is kind of dead here, which is 2 more points.
I don't know. I think a 2 bank to the left and a boost gets Lumi at least another turn.
All right, so for turn 5, we get Toby again. We are going to get the seismic, it looks like. Which makes sense. Deter anybody from staying here. First player dice rig. Yes, we rigged them on purpose, Epionic. I'll tell you what, I have actually never played a game where somebody has won first player every round. Either online or in person. I think you're right. I think you do the one hard with Click. I think that's what you're going to do. Epionic, I can't feel bad because technically speaking, that's what we used to have. Either you were first player or second player. It didn't change every round in 2.0.
I think that's been my favorite change in 2.0 is the road.
Is the changing of the road?
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. All right, so we get a boost out of Obi. And you are right, it is a randomness, but I'll tell you what, Epionic, it has actually made me a lot better player. I will be honest with you. Because I have to think about more positions than what I would just normally do. But yes, the randomness is sometimes a hard thing to deal with.
I always bring up the devs at AMG talked about the idea that if 2 pilots were the same, it's the randomness of who goes first is like the flinch, right? Who flinched first?
Mm-hmm.
And the idea of same initiatives was that they're facing each other down and somebody kind of flinches first is kind of the concept of who wins. And I thought that was always a cool themey
Holy
idea.
crap. Vader
Jeez.
barrel rolled. Took the focus barrel roll. That's cool. I like that. That means we're getting what, a 2 bank out of him. Hey, now it opens up for whatever you want to do with now Iden can just do almost anything.
Wow, that was interesting with Iden. Preparing for click K turn? Is that what that is?
Yeah, I think so. Or click exiting. You don't have to worry about, Iden dying there.
Well, there's that one heart.
Yep. I don't think Vader can get click, right? So
No,
Vader's...
you can't barrel roll again.
Yep. So do you just take a target lock? Nope, guess not.
Boy, it feels like Obi's been just out of this.
Yeah, ever since getting towards that rock. That's why I'm surprised that there wasn't like a 4K or something like that, or a 5K.
I think the 5K would have been, because at this point he's got your second most health and one of your biggest guns.
I think Lumi has to get out of this area, this way here. And here's the problem: is now Lumi's kind of in the way of Obi-Wan, is my guess. But really, you have to barrel roll all the way to the right and back if you don't want to get shot. And I don't even know if that gets you out of the arc. I bet. Nope. All right. So they are discussing it. So getting away probably will not die, depending on what Vader does. We don't know what Vader's doing. Oh,
wow! Look at that. How many
going all in on Vizier?
How many close maneuvers have we had in this game?
Like 10.
Millimeters.
It seems like, yeah. All right, so there you go. So Oddball taking the target lock on Vizier. So Obi does not bump, but I don't think you can do much with Obi. And there you go. There's Vader coming in. What did Vader do? A 3.
Ooh, is he going to get his own?
We get the afterburners and take the target lock.
Is he going to get his own seismic though?
Yep. Yes.
All
right. So one more shield on Vader. Hey, that opens that whole area up on the side of the board.
Yeah, Epionic mentioned that Vader's one away from half.
Yeah.
That's 3 points.
All right. Oof. That goes to a crit. Do you just spend your focus here, or do you just spend the target lock? I think you spend the target. Nope. You're going to spend your force? All right.
All aggro.
Nope. Spending the target lock. All right. And we get a hit. There you go. So hit, 2 crits. Got to have all paint here. And do we have anybody for dedicated? Probably not. And it doesn't matter what the crit is unless it's a direct hit. Sad to see it, Lumi. Sad to see it. All right. So that puts Toby up 10-7.
So Oddball's hoping for all paint so he can pass that lock to click.
Yep. And it is a range 1. Look at that.
If he remembers VTG too, he's got Vader and Vizier with Oddball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hopefully he remembers it. Yeah, because you just need the 1 damage into Vader.
Oh, nuts. Oh, shoot. Focus would have been... Well, not
All
bad.
right. 3 hits. I like that still, though. Vizier gets 1 evade, so just 2.
Gosh.
Just 2 into Vizier. Where's my Vizier on the screen? All right. That does give him some points, though.
Oh,
And
you
I
can shoot
think,
Morna. Oh, really?
yeah, you get it's so tempting with that 1. If you get that 1 into Vader, I know it's not the likelihood, it's probably nothing, but.
But aren't you 1 away from Morna from getting half?
So what does she have? 12 and 4 is 16.
Yeah.
I think we've already hit half.
I thought she was 16,
Oh,
right?
look at that Vader.
Just thinking it'd be easier to get Morna. That's not going to
Just 1. And that time Vader rolls 2. Morna going into oddball. Range 2. Excuse me, range 2. I think you spend it. Oddball gets 1. Ooh, no. No. Oh, dedicated. You can do dedicated. Reroll it. It's into a focus. Sad day, oddball. You live longer than I thought you would. That brings that score up. I think they missed 2 points.
Oh my gosh, Vizier gets another evade? Ah.
The Vizier still takes 1 though, right?
Yeah, but when a single agility ship just keeps rolling evade, you're just like, come on. I just want to kill this thing.
There we go. Okay. So I didn't think I was off count wise. All right, 10 to 13. This is still a close game. You do have the ability to get half points still on Vader. But you're going to have to be careful with Obi. I think win condition for Tim is to not lose Click here and not lose Oddball, though Oddball still has 4 health, right? So do you take Click and chase Vizier and then I don't know, I guess you could chase both of them. The problem is with Morna with all that health, I don't think in 7 minutes you can get Morna off the board now.
No, but all you take is 1 damage to get Morna at half, right? Or am I missing that? Is she already at half?
I think she's already at half.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I had
yep.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Oh, more Epionic says Morna needs 1 more. Half is 8.
It's 8. No. Because there's 4 shields here. Unless it has a hull upgrade or something.
Well, hull's not legal.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't see anything else.
Yeah, so you just leave Morna alone.
Yeah. Which means you have to go in on Vader here, I think. And here's where Vader can be cagey, right? And here Tim is looking at it. This is a hard turn for Tim, I think, because Morna can just go very slow Probably doesn't care as much about the crits. Did Toby win again? Toby won again. But I think here you have to. Here's the bigger issue with this, because like Morna's just gonna cut either bank or hard and rotate, right? And now there's no trick shots. Oh, doing a 3 hard. Question is, do you have to rotate here to make sure you get click and oddball? Because I think with 8 health, you don't need a reinforce. All right, gonna fix the crit instead. Probably a good maneuver, just in case. All right, click going straight, getting rid of his strain. Yeah, take a focus.
Oddball 2 harding to the right. Because you can get VTG, so you could get Iden some trouble, and you still get a shot into Vizier.
Obi taking a focus.
Looks like your stream froze, Chris.
Yeah. Obi took a focus there. And a barrel roll. All right.
Think they'll line up the bullseye?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. I think he's got it.
Yeah, you still get the VTG. And here's, I don't know, like here, the crappy thing is you got Iden there, and I think you're giving Iden a shot. Who do you want to take down? You know, who do you want to try to put stuff into? And there we go. We got Vader Talon rolling. No pattern analyzer though, but I don't think Vader cares. Vader just needs to live and not give up half points.
I mean, Obi's got HLC, so he could, depending on how the shot goes, could be interesting.
Why do we get the stress?
Isn't that Minister Tua? If you're down,
right.
You get to take a reinforce.
Yep, that's right. 8 secure. All right.
Oddball.
All right, so you do get the HLC. I don't know. You got to play a little faster, though, if they want to actually get an X round. I don't think 4 hits kills Morna.
No.
But I will tell you, look at that roll. 4 hits. 4 hits. Oh, 3 hits going in. Where is that? There. Oh, and he doesn't have Morna, but he does get Iden.
Well, I might still be able to take out Vizier.
Yep. All right. 2 into Iden. What does Iden roll? Iden rolls bloody almost daddies. All right, oddball.
She hasn't even used her charge.
Oh, was it range 1? And it's the point.
Gross.
All right. Range 2. Yep, range 2 into Vizier. Do you spend your focus here?
I mean, he's got.
I think you spend it.
Force.
Spend it. Spend it. You have to spend it. There you go. What? Oh my God, Vizier! That Vizier just does not want to die, no matter what happens. All right. Now we're gonna get the shot into Obi, range 2. Just hit crit. And no, Obi! No, Obi. What is the crit?
Probably direct.
If it's a direct hit, it's a direct. You gotta be kidding me. All right. Oh, man. Oh, so bad. Oh. All right. Here we go. Can click live. Use an ion cannon. Just 2. Click needs 2 paint. You have to spend it if you want to live. Oh, dedicated first. That's right.
Oh
no, his dedicated is not hit anything. Oh man. All right.
Now there's a good chance.
Vizier lives.
Oh, you have to get 2 hits, right? Because is Vizier the one that you get to change?
No.
It doesn't matter. He's got an evade, so.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh no! Sad days. Ugh. Did they pause the timer for some reason?
Yeah, they're at 13, aren't they?
Vizier did live. So hold on, let me ask them if they paused the timer at some point. Well,
I know I think Scott does a set time for the All-Star, if I remember right.
Yeah, because mine hit 0. That's why I did not know if it was a timer set higher or. I mean, it on my side it is. I don't know. I have 418. So technically, if we start right at 20. I guess it's up to it's up to you all. I don't remember it pausing at all on the table, but I don't pay attention. Yep. And that's okay. So I'm gonna put time back on. All right. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna play it out. because they have 11 minutes on their timer. I'm pretty sure somehow it got paused at some point, and then they'll watch it back through. If they ran the timer correctly and somehow it got paused, then what they will do is give Toby the win. Otherwise, they have 11 minutes on the clock starting now. Because have you ever seen that, Corey, before where a timer would do something weird or no?
No.
Okay. I guess I can't see on my side the table timer, but I'm pretty sure we hit. But if not, we at least get another 10 minutes of game time. So that's cool, right?
That is always cool. That's a lot. That's 2 turns, though.
Yeah. And Epionic, when the stream froze, it's still, the table doesn't actually freeze. It's just a stupid cam link thing. I've replaced that cam link card like 3 times. I don't know why they go bad so fast. But yeah. But yes, if Vader kills Obi, it's the end of the game. Obi's going to have to go straight and then do a barrel roll, or barrel roll and then go straight, I'm assuming. So. All right. I wish there was like a replay function while you're live, right?
Mm-hmm. So speaking of Republic, oh, go ahead.
Toby just won it again.
I was curious in chat. Did anybody else get their Siege of Coruscant today? I'm bragging a little bit. We're playing Republic, so I figured it was relevant.
Well, it's always relevant to get new stuff. I have not, so.
Comes with a new ion bomb card.
Oh, does it? Does it have like a fancy ion bomb?
It tells you what to do with it, and then what the rules are for the ion bomb on the card.
There we go. We got Vizier running away. I don't know. Click can still get Vizier though, right? Click's not stressed.
Yeah, Kester, I got both today. Hot Shots and SOC.
Wherever Corey lives must have somebody that gives out stuff free. All right. We get Morna coming in. Keeps the reinforce. We get Iden churning in here. That's a little interesting. Must be going all out on Obi-Wan there. So now if you kill Click here, that's another 2 points, right? And if you kill Vizier at the same token, that's 2 points, so you gain nothing.
So chat, kickback is on the card, I5. Epionic.
But it's not a misprint.
I don't know.
You know what? I opened my Battle of Yavin and I never actually like went through the cards because I don't play Republic very often. So
I grabbed the Wedge
Rebels.
one. I grabbed Wedge, the new Wedge.
All right, kickback coming in at I5 seems pretty good though.
Oh, nameless clone! Come on, clones are awesome. Epionic needs to be banned.
Only Greg can ban people on the stream, so. All right, so we're getting a dual target lock. I think he's given up keeping Click alive. Ooh, look at that.
Epionic Show me where kickback isn't.
I don't know who's oddball gonna shoot. No one.
Yeah, it looks like no one because Vader's got to get out of there.
All right. I don't know what Obi's doing either here. Okay, so there is definitely something wrong with that stream timer. Or with a timer on the table. Because they are at 6 minutes, and I'm at 5 minutes and 17 seconds. I wonder if it came with a new update or something.
Slow time?
Time moves faster in the UK. Well, I'm not in the UK. I'm in America, so. Yeah, they're almost a full minute behind. Unless there's something wrong with the YASB overlay, right? I guess the YASB overlay could be bad.
That might be something you should do, Chris, this weekend is just run the clock and actually set a timer next to it and just stare at it for an entire 75 minutes.
And see which one it does. What I would do, actually, is I just move my screen around and record it, actually.
Yeah.
75 minutes, they're down. I don't know, Corey, that doesn't sound like any fun to me. You're killing me here. I have things to do.
You're a streamer. You got to do these things. Pay when you're kids. Here's 50 cents.
All right, so I assume Vader just takes the target lock, right? All right, so there's Click. It does take Click off the board.
Ouch.
That's definitely not good. Morniki takes 1 damage.
You heard it here first. Chris said taking damage and losing a ship is not good.
Boutois. All right, I think that does officially give Toby will get the win out of this, especially with Obi. I don't think Obi's going to be able to take Morna off the board.
Well,
Oddball not getting a shot.
Yeah, Morna and Vader are going to wreck Obi. Stream froze.
Yeah, I know. There goes Obi. Sad day. Well, that officially will be the end of that game. I will have to sit around and run that timer back, though. I actually am very interested to know now what it is. Very good game. Thank you to Tim and for Toby for playing on stream. Was very excited to be able to pick up a game and happy that I didn't have very much work today, so that I was able to actually run the game. If you don't know who we are, you can click subscribe. We stream games usually for other leagues once in a while. We did a bunch of XCC stuff last year. Then this year, there wasn't very many games that fit my time schedule. But if you do have an Alt-Starts game and you are planning on playing around, let's just say 2100 UTC hours, which is 4 o'clock. Typically, I am done with work at 4 o'clock, and you can happily hit me up to do it. With that being said, thank you to everybody. Thank you to Corey for commentating with me. We do run a podcast as well. If you would like to check us out, we are at 9 p.m. Eastern time. And then, of course, we have it playback on YouTube and Podbean the next morning. Thank you all. Have a good night and enjoy your weekend.